Well, good morning, everyone. Today we're going to talk about your 2017 Internet Marketing Plan, and we're going to learn how to maximize your web presence using the latest in Internet marketing strategies. If you stay till the end, we'll be providing you a couple of gifts here just for staying engaged and involved through the end of this webinar. First, we'll be sending you out a checklist on the 10 key online marketing steps you need to take for success. We'll also be sending you out to this nice little graphic which defines from 1 through 9 exactly the steps that you need to be taking for your overall web presence to have your name out there everywhere. And then finally, we'll send you out the top 40 keywords that will help you get your phone ringing, and they work both for SEO and PPC. And that list may even be a little bigger than 40. We're still compiling a new list. So really need your attention. Please turn off your cell phones, turn off your Facebook. If you're a child care center owner or director and you're serious about getting results in 2017, the next 60 to 90 minutes will change your life. So who am I and why should you listen to me? Well, first, I enjoy helping others achieve their dreams. I relate to entrepreneurs because I am one, and I have bought, sold, and operated over 10 businesses. I've spoken on Chris Murray's stage and Julie Barkis's stage. Those are both childcare conferences that are out there. I'm a certified online marketing strategist for the local Internet Marketing Association, and I also do business consulting, and I help businesses both offline and online. So if you've worked with me in the past, you probably have some recollection of when I provided you just general business advice, not just online marketing advice. What people are saying. My former partner, Meg Fitzgerald, Jeff as always thinks outside the box to facilitate others' dreams and reach their potential. So that's one of the people I've worked in the past. Christine Whitmarsh is an author and has been a business consulting client. And she says there are very few people in the world with a scope of vision, knowledge, business intuition that makes them worthy of being introduced as a true game changer. So I'm going to stop there. You can read the rest. So what are your goals for 2017? Everybody needs a goal. And what I like to do is quote Dr. John Maxwell here, your future success depends on your daily agenda. What I like to say is your daily agenda must include action steps to achieve your goals. So by having goals, you're able to set daily actions, weekly actions, and put those in place so that you can achieve your goals over time. So what we're going to do today is help you sort out your goals for 2017. So the first one we want to talk about, and in your workbook, please write down what is your revenue target, and then if you would in the chat box just go ahead and put some idea of what your revenue stream is going to be for 2017 or what your target's going to be. That would help me get a sense of how the group shakes out. How much is this monthly? So you may not think of it in an annual basis, you may think of it on a monthly basis. So if that's how you think of it, please write it down. How many tours and enrollments will that require? So this industry is a little bit unique in that there's really two measures of success that I consider. Well, there's actually three: number of calls, but how many of those calls turn into tours, and then how many of those tours turn into enrollments. So how many will you require on a monthly basis to achieve that monthly goal and overall that revenue target? And so in your case, you should also have broken down enrollments and tours by month. So in January, if you need 8 new enrollments, for example, and in July, you typically only get 2 new enrollments, make sure you adjust that so you actually are tracking what's reasonable. Your average enrollment value, so you need to think about that. That's a combination of before school, after school, full-time care, part-time care. What is your average enrollment? And if you really want to get fancy, you can break down your enrollments into 2 goals, which is how many full-time enrollments do you need, how many part-time enrollments do you need, and then if you really want to get detailed, you can also break it down into the before and after school program and how many enrollments you need there. I'm just going to do a simple example when we get done here, just so everybody can see it, and it will be on the replay so you can calculate it for yourself later if you struggle with the numbers. The other thing you want to know is what's the lifetime value of a customer. So when a parent comes through the door, how many months are they going to stay in your child care center on average? So you want to know what that number is. And then you also want to look at how many new staff members you'll need to hit your goal. The reason staff members are important here is if you have a room that's at partial capacity and all of the rest of your rooms are full, for example, you want to target all of your marketing to fill up that partial capacity room. Let's say it's a toddler room. And if you have 12 openings in there in your toddler room, you'd be better off to market to fill that up, because every other one of your rooms is going to require an additional staff member, which is a pretty significant expense. So here's my example. So what's your target revenue? 1.5 million. How much is that monthly? That breaks down to 125,000 a month. What's your average enrollment value? For this example, I'm going to use $1,000 average enrollment value. How many enrollments would that require? And so it's not a simple math equation here. It's now where you have to count how many openings that you have and then multiply it by the transaction value of $1,000. So in this case, we have $8,000 or 8 openings. Again, what's the lifetime value? In this assumption, we're looking at child stays for 24 months. And so $24,000 is what the value of one new child is. And remember, every one of your centers will be a little bit different. And then how many new staff members will you need to achieve these goals? And in this case, in my example, you need 2. So you need to calculate that out. So this is a really big deal, because without knowing these numbers, how can you set goals? So in a perfect world, like I say, you want to, how much is this monthly goal? You can just use a round figure for every month. And remember, this 125,000 includes the currently enrolled children. So in this case, it tells me I've got 125,000, I've got 8 openings. My current enrollment is $117,000 of monthly income on average. So you want to take that into account. And then what's the capacity that you need to be at to achieve these goals? So each center is different, your cost structures are different, but in my example, I'm saying if you need 85% or more to hit your goals, then these numbers would work. If you need 95%, obviously your numbers are going to be higher, because your goal would be closer to 9 or 10 enrollments every month versus the 8 that we used in this example. So now we need to look at how many leads we'll get. So can somebody tell me how they track their leads? Do they use a spreadsheet, or are you using some kind of CRM tool? It would help me understand this group a little better. So in your chat, if you type in how you're tracking your leads that come in, how you're tracking your phone calls, how you're tracking your tours, and finally, how many of that's enrollment. So got one that's doing it on a spreadsheet. Then we need to look at what your average conversion rate from a tour is. So from a call to a tour, if you're getting 50% conversion rate at that level, you need 24 calls to get 12 tours. And then what's your average conversion rate from tour to enrollment? And if you're at 65%, That will get you 12 calls per month, and it will get you 8 enrollments. Again, each month will be different because I know you have higher enrollments here in typically December, January, February, even into March, and then your enrollments drop off if children graduate, move on to summer programs only, those types of things. So what you're looking for, though, is every month, how many calls do you need coming in the door? How many walk-in tours? If you take walk-in tours, how many of those do you need? I don't have that on this example, but you should take that into account. And then how many of those as a percentage turn into an actual enrollment? So the more you track these numbers, the better you're going to be able to manage and use your marketing plan that we'll talk about here shortly. We have another one that's using ProCare. So spreadsheets, ProCare, there's a variety of ways in which you can track it out there in the childcare niche. So what is the average conversion rate called a tour to enrollment? If your numbers are from call to tour 50%, and from tours to enrollment 75%, and I'm sorry I missed this should say 65%. If you know those numbers, then you're going to be able to start forecasting your income at the highest level on your profit and loss statement. This doesn't really impact your expenses other than you have variable expenses that will come up as you add new children. But that's something else to consider. If you have openings in every single room, what is what they call your marginal cost to add a child? And so oftentimes that marginal cost is simply their meals, their workbooks, and a few dollars towards toiletries and things like that. So oftentimes I work with customers to figure out what that marginal cost is, because that will help us define what kind of special to run. So if your marginal cost, add 1 new student and you need no new teachers or no other significant expense, then you can run a 4-week free ad, because it's going to cost you $400, maybe max if it's $100 a week. And for some of you, again, depends on what your overhead costs and stuff are, but typically it's anywhere from $100 to $250 per month, actually. So you run that first month free, and then in the second month and beyond, you have the ability to charge your full rate. Much better to do that than give a discounted rate over the whole time. So what are your goals for 2017? Let's look at the fundamentals. So we need to look at your market, who you're going after, your message, what are you saying, and then finally how. How are you getting that message out there to them? To do that, we need to look at your ideal customer. And so today we're going to talk about avatars. And avatars are simply a description that goes into detail about the demographics, which is their age, their race, where they live, their amount of income. That's your demographics. But then you also get into psychographics. What are their pains and frustrations? What are their fears and implications? Goals and desires and dreams and aspirations. And this isn't just about childcare. It's about all aspects of what they do. So let's look at this. So demographics, we're going to do this for dual income earners. So they're both working and they have a child or two in the child care center. We'd like to see them to be a homeowner. 23 to 35 years old is a pretty good age range. And remember, you're going to have to adjust this to how your demographics work out for your dual income earner profile. Typically female making the decision, married with 2 to 3 children, anywhere from 1 to 3 in childcare. Sometimes they can be the head of household, 65,000 plus an annual household income. Again, if you're on the West Coast, that may be a low number. If you're in the Midwest, 65,000 is probably a pretty high household income. So you need to work at understanding what their income levels. You want people that are family oriented. They possibly like gardening, crafts, and arts. So they're going to appreciate the different activities that you do to help educate their children. A lot of times they're going to live in the suburbs and they're going to live in an upper middle class neighborhood, and they have an interest in the community. So those are all demographics about the individual. But now we need, and so that's dual earners. So you also need to do a profile, an avatar on single parents, for example. You need to do an avatar on one income earner where the significant other stays at home during the day. So they would typically be the ones you're promoting for part-time care because they may not do full-time care. And then others that fit into there, which might be grandparents, if you're in an area where you have others raising children, so grandparents, uncles, aunts, those types of things, you want to do a demographic for them as well. And why this comes into play, or where this comes into play, is, for example, how you advertise in Facebook would be a great example of how this comes into play, because you could actually run 4 distinct ads there, one for single parents, one for dual earners, one for single earners, and the other group, which is an older crowd. Because the ad that you show in Facebook, for example, if it's a single mother, you're going to want to show an image that relates to a single mom with a child. If you're going to do a dual earner, you're going to typically show husband and wife and a child. If you're doing the other group, your husband and wife or grandma and grandpa are going to be older, and so the age of the picture of the caregiver needs to be not 23 to 35, but probably 45 to 60. So you need to take that into account as you do, for example, Facebook advertising. And it applies to all other types of advertising that you're doing out there. Then you want to look at their pains and frustrations. They need childcare. That's a pain. They're worried about the quality of the care that they're going to get. They're worried about hours of operation that match their work schedule. They take into account the preferred location. Do they want the child care center to be closer to their home or closer to their work? Or do they want it in a midway point where both the husband and wife can share the duties of picking up and dropping off the child? And so those are all pains and frustrations that they have to go through. And most of the time, they're too busy to deal with finding a new center. So you have to have some kind of incentive. And the bigger the incentive, the more likely you're going to draw somebody who's already got a child in care, who's frustrated. You're going to draw them out and bring them over to your center. So that's pains and frustrations. Next, we look at fears and implications. What's the value of their the education that's being, or the value, the cost of the education compared to the education actually provided? If you're going after children that want to be in a preschool environment versus, say, a daycare environment, you got to show your value in everything that you do. Their fears are also about new babies. Is that baby going to recognize them when they show up at the end of every day? Safety, is the center safe and secure? And well-being, will they get along with other kids and will they enjoy their time at the center? So you need to address these fears and the implications related to those fears. And then goals and desires. Their goal is to find a child care center that works for them. So they don't really care what your hours of operation are or what you provide. The first thing they have to make sure is that the hours of operation, for example, work for them. Otherwise, if your hours are a limiting factor, excuse me, they're going to move on and find something else. Their other goal or desire is their ability to sleep peacefully at night. So is their child in a safe and secure environment? and they go to bed not worrying about that. The other thing about this customer avatars, they like to take care of their family. They're very connected. They want to have healthy kids, happy and successful children. They're always looking at ways to spend more time with the family, and they like to travel and have fun with the family. They want to be respected and approved by friends, family, and relatives. They're always looking for peace of mind. And then on the specifically to the child care, they're looking to make sure that the child care will help reach the developmental milestones out there, and then the kindergarten readiness test that exists in some states. And what that means is if you can see dual learner parents through their eyes, then you can create content that connects with the dual learner parent. So if your market to message match is a good fit for a dual earner, they feel like you're talking directly to them. And that's what you're trying to achieve in your marketing message that you'll put out there. Then you want to craft your message. Why should someone choose to do business with you instead of the competition? Okay, again, in the chat box, can you type in just one reason why they should choose you over the competition? All right, I need somebody to chime in here. Why should they choose you over the competition? We talked about hours of operation. We talked about safe and secure environment, but the problem with saying safe and secure environment is that everybody says they have a safe and secure environment. So what specifically are you doing? So Kevin says they're doing the Keystone Star 4 program, and it's the highest rating a preschool program can achieve in Pennsylvania. We have another one that says I have the earlier most and later than most, so 5:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. So that's a great example. Another says I have a swimming pool. Yep, swimming pool, a gymnasium. Those are different differentiators that you can talk about in your message. And then what benefits do you offer that target customer that will resonate with the avatar that you've defined? So you want to be looking at that as well. Let's see, a few more in here. So benefits, we provide all means of communication for the family, and then also help the children outside the center, providing resources, and that also helps the parents. So you want to be looking at these two questions. What do you want to have in your message? And constantly refining. The question that I like to ask is helping who do what? So helping parents with safe and secure childcare, helping parents achieve preschool readiness, helping children achieve preschool readiness. Helping who do what always works here to help you define your message as well. Other enrichment programs are a good example here. Dance, basketball, Spanish, sign language, tumbling classes, and that's all in the total weekly price. So that's another way to do it as well. We have exceptional customer service and staff with longevity as a rotation of staff. So you want to talk about that. What's the average, education level of your staff? What's the average time that your staff has actually been a part of your center? Because if you can say, the majority of our staff members have been with us 5+ years, that's going to definitely reduce the stress that the parent's going to feel as they move forward. So messaging that works, safe environment, meals and snacks, diapers provided, convenient hours, kindergarten readiness. Those are all messages as well as the ones I've read off here. Kids that are healthy, happy, and successful. So those are all. And then you want to make your case. We meet all state requirements and standards. Our nutritional meals are prepared by our certified in-house cook or provided by an outsourced meal provider. We want to make it as stress-free as we possibly can. Open from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your convenience. So play with your hours. Look at, draw a 4-mile circle around you and look at the major employers within that 4-mile circle. And are you open 30 minutes before the start time of that major employer? And are you staying at least 30 minutes after the closing time of that major employer? That all of a sudden will allow you to go out to that major employer and talk about the benefit that you offer, that we're here. So you have plenty of time to drop off your child, and you have plenty of time to get there in the end of the day and pick them up. Again, we talked a little bit about this, but highly trained child care providers. So talk about their training, and again, how long they've been with the team. Those are all things that can make your case for what you're talking about. Now let's look at media. So we talked about market and message, and now we're going to look at the media. So your website is the hub. Everything starts and stops with the website. Then you're looking at LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and others. And so you want to make sure that your website is set up to convert. The 2 basic rules of thumb is that you want to have your phone numbers in the upper right-hand corner. And I often hear from multi-center locations, well, it can't be done. So I showed this example here where we have 3 different locations that we're able to display the phone numbers for each individual one. You'll also see down here, there's an opt-in box for the 12 factors to consider when choosing a child care center. So they're striving to get a child care center owner to sign up. Sorry about that. So what we want to do is we want to be able to see if this conversion optimization really has an impact. So in this particular customer that we have, and again, these numbers will vary depending on the size of your city, where you're located, and then how much of a web presence are you currently working on. So it can vary, but the number we want to look at here is all users. And in this 30-day window, 2,600 people came to this website. And a big reason this one shows that number of users is they are also doing pay-per-click advertising and I believe Facebook advertising. So that gets your visitor count up dramatically. So you want to look at that. And then you want to look at, does your website speak to your target avatar? So once you build out these 4 different avatars, you're going to see many things that are common. So does it address their fears, and does it speak to why they should choose you? And this should be above the fold, as close up above the top of the website as possible. Does your website have real authentic images of your team to the homepage and throughout the website? So we always can start a website with stock photos, but over time you want to be adding real images of your center, because when I walk through the door as a parent with a child, what I saw on the website is what I want to be able to see when I walk through the door. So if you have a slider, show the front entry to your child care center, show the reception desk, show some rooms in there in your slider would be examples of how you can do that and get that on the home page. It's really important, and this is a new thing we're going to start stressing in 2017, to get more video on your website. So a new thing that we're starting out is adding website welcome videos onto your home page. Each of your programs pages should have a video discussing how your program works, what's a typical day, and that should go on the program pages. And then a video explaining why someone should contact you rather than the competition. So you want to put that on there. So these are all things that will help with your conversion. Do you showcase your online reviews prominently on the homepage? So if you have reviews, you have some kind of widget on your website that will show those reviews so people can see them. Do you make it easy for them to take action and get in contact with your center? That's why you want those phone numbers in the upper right-hand corner. And you also want the opt-in box. And then finally, down at the bottom, you want a call to action, giving them instructions, again, how to call you. So the basics, phone number in the upper right-hand corner, making sure that the web form is there, and then adding credibility with authority symbols, Better Business Bureau, Macy, Kevin, your 4-star Keystone program, any of those credibility things that can show that you're different than your competitor. These are all things that will help with your conversions. And then the call to action on the bottom of each page, and it should speak to the customer's avatar and tell them exactly what to do next. And then finally, do you have tracking in place? Call tracking, Google Analytics. Do you track the average cost per call and the cost per tour? So if you're spending $1,500 a month between your different marketing programs, are you tracking the number of calls, the number of walk-in tours, number of tours set by calls, and then finally enrollments? And then identifying what is your average cost per call, cost per tour. Because if you know that it costs you $100, for example, on average to go from a call all the way to enrollment, then we know that if you're spending $1,500, you should be consistently getting 15 new enrollments every single month. And again, the more you break it down, the better. But the first thing I recommend is just start the tracking. Then create your own simple dashboard to measure these results. So if you're working with a professional group, you should be provided these results monthly. They won't know the average cost per call, but from the other data they provide you, you should be able to figure that out. Or just create a simple Excel spreadsheet that tracks all of this information. What's said out there oftentimes is what gets measured gets done. So you want to be measuring your results. And remember, it's more important to start tracking today than it is to get it all right initially. Because if you start the tracking, and if the only thing you do is track the number of calls that you get every day and how many of those turned into tours, track the number of walk-in tours, that's going to start to get you some numbers. Do that for a month and then look at your Google Analytics and you'll be able to fill out the rest of the information. And again, there is a seasonality to childcare, so make sure you take that into account for your best season and your worst season. And if it's too hard to track every single month, then you might consider just tracking quarters. Figure out what your average enrollment is going to be for the first quarter of the year, the second quarter, the third quarter, fourth quarter, and work off those numbers. But you got to have some numbers here to tell if your marketing dollars are achieving the goals. So call tracking can tell you a lot of things. So here, in this particular case, in this window of time here, there was 129 calls. 99 of those were unique. And of these calls, 21 came in between 9 and 10. 7 a.m. had 17 calls. And then interestingly enough, 6 a.m. had 9 calls. So the question I would have there, and remember, these are called tracking numbers. These are unique numbers that only show up when they search for your website. So in a perfect world, these are people looking for childcare. So the question I have, just based on these numbers, in this particular instant, do they have a dedicated phone person from at least 7 a.m., maybe even 6 a.m.? Maybe that person just needs to come in, lock themselves in the building, and answer the phone for that first hour of the day before you let people come in. But this kind of tracking is what can help you decide that. And then do you have a dedicated person from 6 or 7 a.m. till phone calls start to drop off, which is typically noon or 1 o'clock. Everybody's profile is going to be different depending on where you're at in the country. So far we've talked about getting a clear goal and a target for 2017. We've got some clarity around the basics, which are market, message, and media, and those all have to match up and align so that when somebody goes on, for example, your pay-per-click ad and reads the ad about taking care of your child as a grandparent, when they click on that, they should land on a specific page that talks about things that the grandparent is concerned about, if you break it down that way. You also can break it down just by programs. That's perfectly fine to do that as well, especially until you get your avatars worked out. But like I said, local child care marketing this year, 2017, is going to be working with our customers to get those avatars developed and provide those to our customers. Have we made sure that our website is optimized for conversions? And then we set up a simple results tracking dashboard. An Excel spreadsheet is a minimum. And if you use some kind of software that provides that data, take the time and learn that software. It's an interesting thing about different kinds of software applications. Oftentimes when we buy it, we're all excited about all the things that the software offers. And then all of a sudden we get bogged down and we stop trying to implement 100% of that software. A couple years goes by, and then all of a sudden we decide to track, for example, tracking, instead of going back and reviewing what upgrades and changes have been made to the software and attempting to track it there, like ProCare, for example, we just go out and we build another system and buy another software. So always try to use the systems and processes you have. So if you're not sure if your system will do that, take the time to check and figure it out. So now we've got this diagram here to help you understand where you need to start in your marketing and where you need to go. We have 9 specific blocks, and if you're already doing some of these, then you may want to go back and fill in the gap on the parts that you're not doing. So we start here with our foundational stuff. We need to make sure our copy on our website is strong, it's written for the target avatar, and it's ready to convert. Then we need to do the on-page SEO. So the title tags on your website, are they correctly set up? Is there enough word count on each and every page? So word count always comes into play, and why it comes into play is typically our customer doesn't have a big enough budget to be able to just have a fancy homepage with no words on it. We depend on Google to rank those keywords, and so we say your homepage needs to be at least 350 words, and that's an absolute minimum. So make sure that your homepage has content on it and that it's well optimized as well. Building links. So there's a lot of ways to build links, but building your link from your Yelp back to your site, from your Facebook back to your site, and I'll discuss a few others in another slide here. Are you blogging? Are you getting the blog posts out there at least twice a month? And then are you working on your reputation? Are you sitting down once a month and asking your customers to give you a review? If you don't proactively ask for this, it's just not going to happen. So that's the SEO component. And then we look at social engagement. So are you engaging with Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, Google+, Instagram, Snapchat, wherever you find your customers are at? So you're looking at that. Are you engaging every single day on Facebook and at least 3 times a week on all the others? So step 1, get this foundation correct, then add social media engagement. Then look at doing social media ads on Facebook and Instagram. This is the most targeted advertising you can do for a child care center. And again, as you develop your avatars, you can do multiple different ads. You'll have to have a budget for each one, individual one, and your management fee will be a little bit higher. But if you've got individual ads to each of the avatars, that'll be great. Then we want to step up into doing Google AdWords and Bing search, the PPC specific ads that are out there. And then in 2017, we recommend that you're starting to do retargeting. So retargeting is just also known as stalker ads. So you all signed up someplace or went to Home Depot's website or whatever, and now you're seeing Home Depot in your Facebook, and you're seeing Home Depot on every other search that you go to. So you want to put into place retargeting once you got your SEO up and running, once you're doing good social engagement, pushing through good social media advertising on Facebook, and doing pay-per-click advertising. Because all of that information that's gathered here as people come to your website is used to do this this retargeting. So so now we got to the fifth step. Then we're going to look at reputation marketing. So we've done reputation over here monitoring in our foundational stuff, but now we need to look at repurposing and distributing the content. So if somebody put up a great online testimonial or review or whatever, we want to capture that review. And then, for example, if it's a good review on Google, you want to capture that image, and you want to take that image and go out and put it on all your social media accounts. Hey, look what somebody said about us this week. So that's the next thing you want to do. You've all got a list of emails of your existing customers, and you also have a list of anybody that's opted into your form or ever signed up for any kind of waiting list or whatever. So you want to be emailing everyone at least once a month as a minimum, and preferably twice a month. Good tools for that, if you're using childcare CRM, it works. Get Response works, Constant Contact, and there's many other ones out there. Just gather your list and start emailing. And as you start emailing, you will start to get responses back. And you can email surveys. You can ask parents questions about your services. Do they like your hours of operation, for example? That would be a great email to send out to your entire list, both existing customers and also those that have just signed up on your email list, and find out if that 5:30 a.m. Is important, or if 6 o'clock would be just as good, so that you're not paying staff members to be open when almost no one uses the service. And then we take it offline for a minute here, and we do referral programs. Do you send out gift cards to parents that sign up? Do you send out gift cards to people that refer you? So some kind of rewards program. Are you sending out a newsletter every single month? And again, if you did nothing else but generated a one-page newsletter about what's going on, so I'm talking 8.5 by 11, front and back, and sent that out once a month to the parents, and then on your second email, simply ask for a referral. You know, we have this great rewards program. If you could refer us, put us in touch with another parent who has a child between the ages of, and this is where you want to put in the ages of the openings that you have in the center. So if you want, 3 and 4 year olds, because that's what you need in your center, that's what you would put in that month. So we're currently looking to enroll children between 3 and 4 years of age, or we're currently looking to fill 2 positions in our infant room to get started. So this is, again, mostly done through email, but this is also done by posters and banners inside your center. So you're explaining your rewards program up on the wall. You're putting your newsletter up on a bulletin board of some sort so they can see it. You also have it laying by the front door or on the front desk so they can grab it. So if they're not into opening up email and reading a newsletter, they can also go just to that newsletter that you printed out and left by the front door, on the registration desk, wherever you put it. And then last but not least is, if you've done all of these things and you're looking for another way, directory ads are a great one. So Yelp, for example, yp.com, figuring out how to sign up for care. Those are all directory listings where they're paid. So up here we're doing a lot of citations, which are directory listings that are free. So Google+, Facebook, Pinterest, those are all that. Hot Frog, Best of the Web, those are all these citations up here that are free. But down here you want to be looking at ads that show up so that you can rank on the highest possible in Yelp, for example. So your SEO strategy needs to include your website, your on and off page stuff, getting traffic, how are you ranking, taking the time to analyze how you're ranking, indexing for keywords. Are the keywords that you're going after even getting indexed? If they're not, are you adding content to the website? Are you changing the architecture of your website and adding content so that you can get keywords to index? Again, creating content, 2 blog posts a month are preferred, and then finally backlinks. So that's your whole SEO strategy there. And then you want to look and see if you're optimized to rank on the Google Map listings. So these are the listings, A, B, and C. ABC Academy Jackson is showing up, and all of these different things. It's hard to see down here, but these are all different ways that you can help to get ranked on this. So getting the citation work done is critical to that. But more important than even that, you're never going to rank unless you're getting reviews. So if you've got 100 reviews, but you have not received a new review in the last 90 days, you will drop off this list. So you need to take that into account as well. So are you ranking on Google Maps or citations? So is your foundation strong? Again, organic SEO is where you start, then put into place your social media, then your pay-per-click, and then up here, retargeting, reputation, email, etc. So this is the way we want you to work up from your foundational piece, which is organic SEO. Are you active on social media? Social media is all about referrals and getting your name out there, people sharing content, and then also making recommendations. In your social media feeds, you need to be showing what a day in the life is like at your center. And you also need to be showing how you provide care, how you make it fun, why all those reasons why a parent should be coming to your center. For example, at Local Child Care Marketing, we offer daily posting service where we take care of the jokes and the articles and stuff that need to be read, but the center director or center owner has to be putting up at least twice a week pictures, again, a little Johnny standing on his head, the Martin Luther King Day party, if that's what you just had, whatever the case may be. Pay-per-click advertising. It really encompasses Facebook ads, AdWords on PPC, paid Yellow Pages, paid Yelp. So these are all ways that you're paying to get your name up at the top of the list, wherever it may be, or show up in a feed. So what are you doing for pay-per-click advertising, and how are you taking advantage of that? So you want to build your custom plan. So this is one of the things that I promised as a gift. We'll send this out so you can walk yourself through. Do you have a website? How many phone calls are you getting? Is it properly optimized? Does your website rank? And it goes on down through this list. And so this is your checklist. Go through and check what you are doing and put a big red X on the things that you're not doing, and then add these things to your plan for 2017. You want to achieve online domination. So here's ABC Academy Jackson. They are a PPC. they're in the maps, and they're showing up on organic. So this is when you type in childcare, Jackson, Michigan, or preschool, or daycare, or after school. This is what you want it to look like when you get done. So if you're showing up here but not here, you need to work harder on your organic. If you're showing up here but not here, you need to work harder on your citations. And then up here, if you don't have a listing here, you need to start your pay-per-click advertising campaign. So what are the 3 internet marketing initiatives that you need to implement to hit your 2017 goal? So in the chat box, if you could find me one thing, one initiative you're going to take on, so I can see what this webinar has stimulated for you thinking about your marketing plan. Oh, come on, somebody's got to put something in here. I don't want to be talking about. Kevin is going to start tracking calls. Kevin, that will provide you amazing information, especially if you track calls to tours, to enrollments, and then again, track walk-in and walk-in tours as well, and see what your pattern is. Andrew's going to start some Facebook marketing. That's great. So that's going to get you some new calls and people opting into your stuff. RSLC, I'm not sure who you are, but I see you're going to start tracking calls and tours and enrollments, and you're going to start doing some more internet marketing. So that's great. So what I'm offering everybody is a 2017 online marketing plan review. So if you've worked on your plan, what I will do, or one of my team members will do, is we'll analyze your online visibility. We'll make sure your custom keyword lists for your most important searches. So for example, if you do not provide infant care, we'll remove those and look at other keywords we can add in. Well, how are you ranking? Showing how you're ranking currently on the different keywords. Analyze your online directory listings and its consistency, because consistency is key out here. I have a question here. I'm sorry, do postcards work? Yes, postcards work. The key thing about postcards is, first thing you want to do is you want to get a list of where all your current parents are coming from by zip code, so you can see a pattern. And once you identify that pattern, then that's the area that you want to put in your postcards. If, for example, you've got a low-income neighborhood that you pull a few people from, you're going to not send postcards there, and you're going to put more postcards into the higher income areas. So yes, postcards still do work. The biggest mistake made is people are proud, hey, I sent out 5,000 postcards, and you get no response. So you really want to send out 1,000 postcards 3 times. So on day 0, you send out postcard number 1. On day 10, you change it up a little bit, the postcard, send it out again to the same list of, say, 1,000. And then on day 20 or 25, you send out the 3rd time. 3-step postcard campaigns are the minimum standard to get them to work. So don't think you just send one postcard out and it works. Doesn't typically work that way. We'll also analyze your online reviews and reputation and your social presence. We'll look at your website conversion effectiveness. And if you're interested in this, you can either call this number, or in the email that you'll get shortly, you can go ahead and click there and you'll have a calendar link where you can go ahead and sign up for a 60-minute review. Again, we'll look at your online visibility, we'll look at your keywords, we'll see how you're ranking, we'll look at your directories, we'll look at your reviews, we'll look at what you're doing socially, and we'll see if your website is set up to convert. So That's a free online marketing plan for everyone that's attended this seminar. So that's what we'll be providing at no charge to you. So if you're interested, please click the link or call the number that's also in that email. So we have a clear goal and target for 2017. This is a quick recap. Clarity about market, message, and media that you're using. Making sure your website is optimized for conversion. You've got a results dashboard. Now go out there in 2017 and market your online plan and make it your best year ever. So again, we'll be providing everyone that stayed through the whole seminar with these 10 keys to online marketing success. We'll provide you the top 40 keywords, and we'll provide this graphic so you can hang it up on your wall, print it out, hang it up on your wall, and use it as a check sheet as you're getting all of these things done. And remember, this foundation includes a lot. Strong copy, on-page SEO, link building, citations, which is directory listings, blogging, and reputation. So if you're not doing all of these right now, that's where you need to start and get your foundation built out. So again, just a quick review again. Free online marketing plan review. We'll look at your visibility, your keyword list, your ranking report, your online directory listings, your online reviews, your social presence, and your website conversion effective. Give us a call, 888-354-6196, or again, click on the link in an email that will come out to you shortly, and go ahead and set up online marketing plan review. Is there any other questions? Please drop them in the chat box, and I'll stay on here and answer any questions. Also, please leave a comment. Was today worth your time? Anything you'd recommend improving? I really always try to keep my webinars at 1 hour, because what I recommend is once we send out the replay, go back and watch this in just 10 or 15-minute segments, and then improve on your notes in your workbook, think about things that you need to do, and spend another hour to 2 really working on the workbook to get your plan sorted out. I've got a question. Do offering daily report apps help? Absolutely. I think that's a great benefit that you can offer by offering out the daily reports apps. Again, it's something you need to test in your center. It's always worth getting the application and educating the families, and once they start to see how they can better interact with you and the children on a daily basis, it should be a great thing for them. Question is, do we provide service where you do all the marketing stuff? And absolutely, everything on there except for the referral program, we can take care of you if that's what you'd like to do. So number 8, you need to take care of yourself. We can help you design a newsletter, but the actual sending of like gift cards and stuff, you have to do yourself. As far as recommendations of daily communication apps, My Kids Day, Tadpoles, Kids Reports, they're all good ones. I would look at My Kids Day as a starting point and use that as kind of your reference. I know AJ's been out there for quite some time, and they're very responsive in working with customers and improving their systems and processes. So it's one I would highly recommend. All right, any other questions? Okay, I have a question about reputation. So just bought a business that was already established, came in finding bad reputation that was declining. There's no social media presence, and they're not tech savvy. So as you slowly pick up the pieces, Lori, what you want to look at is get on your social media platforms every single day. And the more you show what you do and how you do it in your center, it's going to start to build confidence in your parents. And that's the first step, is getting your parents confident that they've made the right buying decision. And then start to ask those parents for reviews. And at the same time, also ask them to refer somebody. or share your online social media links. So that's where I would start, and make sure you're going out to your existing parents asking for those reviews, because what happens is over time, the good reviews push down the old reviews. And then the other question I have is, in your branding strategy, did you stay with the same business name and phone number, or did you change them? Because if you change them, then there's some other things. If you go ahead and sign up for an online marketing plan review, we can discuss those things in detail. All right, if no more questions, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We'll send out a replay link sometime tomorrow after we get everything uploaded onto the website. And then we'll also, again, be looking forward to helping you with your marketing plan. Again, 888-354-6196. Give that a number a call, or use the link in your email to go ahead and sign up for a review. All right, thanks. Appreciate the thank yous, and look forward to talking to you soon. With that, we're going to wrap it up. I have been working in online marketing since 2009, and I've also been doing business coaching and consulting for over 30 years. So this is what we do. Our team members specialize in all aspects of online marketing. This is just a few members of our team. And if you haven't met them yet, this is Charles. He does customer care. Leonard does our online marketing. Garrett does web development. Sherry is the one who manages and updates your website. Nicole is everything administrative and also helps with updating websites. This is Bay. Bay is the one that works on our servers and security to make sure that we don't get hacked, and if we do, to get it fixed as soon as possible. And AJ, who works on map listings for those in the company. So that's just an example of our team. We've also helped hundreds of childcare centers, multi-center locations. So you see a few up here. We've also helped single center owners, and we've also helped Montessori owners. So we've helped several hundred childcare centers, and we consider ourselves experts in the field. So let's move on to your internet marketing plan. First of all, make sure you got the workbook downloaded. And if you don't have a chance to do it, that's fine. There will be a recording of this and a replay, so we'll be able to get that out to you as well.